Listen up, you blundering fools. It's time for the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. Get all the toy talk your eagle heart could desire from these nincompoops. Jason and Elgin.
Yo, Joe, and welcome to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast, where friends get together to talk about one of our shared loves,
chimichangas.
Oh, yeah, and also toy collecting. We're here to celebrate how these little colorful pieces of plastic can transform you into a little kid again. If this is your first time listening to us or watching us live on YouTube every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, first of all, thank you guys so much for tuning in, giving us a little bit of your time. We really appreciate it, but you're going to learn soon enough. We are not toy experts. Oh, no. We're toy enthusiasts. So we're not always going to get the details right, and that's okay. We're all friends here. But speaking of details, let me introduce everybody. Hi there, I'm Jason. And over there's my pal, Elgin.
I'm Elgin. I'm over here in Square 2.
Oh. We'll meet Insane Mike and Insane Brandie Moore, the ultimate Goodwill-hunting duo. If there's a hidden toy treasure buried on a thrift store shelf, these two kids will find it. Mike, the mastermind behind Attack of the Killer podcast, brings his deep horror knowledge and collector's eye to every hunt, while Brandie's keen instincts and sharp negotiating skills makes sure no vintage gem goes unnoticed. Whether they're unearthing retro action figures, bizarre bootlegs, or forgotten relics of pop culture's past, their adventures prove that one collector's trash is another collector's holy grail. Welcome, Insane Mike, Insane Brandie. Guys, introduce yourselves. Tell us about yourselves and your how you feel about toys.
Well, yes, I am Insane Mike from Attack of the Killer podcast, and I just learned we were promised chimichangas.
What? That's not what he's. That's not
how it works.
It's in. Yeah.
I'll send them in the
fine.
mail.
Yeah.
2-3 weeks.
Are you done?
What's up? Yes. Just cut them off.
I'm Brandie.
Hi.
Hi.
You're absolutely new to this audience. They've met Mike before on past episodes, so
I'm
tell everybody about yourself.
Podcasts in general. So
I know, and you're not nervous at all. As you're doing well, it's fine. You're doing great.
I'm not nervous. I don't know. I love toys. Yeah.
Us too.
Yeah.
I collect a manner of pretty much everything. Been working on physical media lately.
Cool.
So, yeah.
We got a comment here from channel member Miss Tiffany. Says 3 to 5 business days for chimichangas. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
That's way too long. You put the idea of chimichangas in my head. Now I want freaking chimichangas.
I like a spooky horror podcast. Says finally some good guests. Last week was a bust with those clowns, the Bubble Boys. That's right. Well, Mike, what do you collect, Mike? Has it changed since you were last on? What's new with you?
I don't know if it's really changed, just really per se. I mean, I do horror stuff. I do comic book stuff. It's like superhero stuff, DC mostly. But sometimes I just find weird shit that I just can't pass up anyway. So.
Oh yeah, the weirder the better, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's one of the great things about like the Goodwill-hunting and garage sales and thrift stores and stuff is you can pull the trigger a lot easier on weirdo random stuff when it's like a couple bucks as opposed to like that's weird and that would look cool on a shelf, but I'm not paying full retail for it.
We got Tad Good in the chat, says Brandie. Will you introduce the guy over your shoulder?
His name's Bob.
Bob.
Oh, this guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob.
You remember what this is from, Jason?
I think so.
Yeah. It was from a movie we worked on. Oh, Was I
Yeah.
supposed
Oh no,
to
you're
continue
fine.
with that story?
Elgin had stuff to say. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
I didn't know they were done yet.
I know. And it's all
Hard to
cool.
tell. But before we jump into today's episode, we've got something exciting to tell you about our Patreon and YouTube community, The Core. When you enlist in The Core, the Cracktastic organization of retro plastic specialists, you unlock a treasure trove of exclusive perks made just for hardcore collectors like you. You get bonus episodes, shoutouts, early access, plus an exclusive chat with us and the other Core members. So don't wait. Enlist in The Core today. Just go to enlistinthecore.com to help support the show.
Toy collecting's all about the thrill of the hunt, and what a better place to dig for hidden gems than your local Goodwill. In this episode, the crew was going to share our experiences scouring thrift store shelves for vintage action figures, forgotten toy lines, and unexpected scores. But is Goodwill still a goldmine for collectors, or has the rise of resellers changed the game? Join us as we swap stories, share tips, and debate whether Goodwill-hunting is worth the effort in today's toy collecting world. And don't miss the deep dive into this one as one of the most unpredictable ways to grow your collection. And then later, we're talking about Goodwill today, and we got two experts. Can't wait to get into it. But at some point later, Elgin's going to take us on a tour of a toy store.
Yep.
Excited about that. And then everyone else, you can follow us on all the social media platforms, including Patreon. Those links can be found at our website, cracktasticplastic.com. Head over there. We've already said hi to the chat. They're getting mouthy, but if you want to take part of the show, get your butt over in the chat, and we'd love to hear from you. But right now, it's that time. Let's talk about what toys we've picked up lately in a segment we call Thrill of the Hunt.
Listen up, you fools! If anyone knows more about searching for the most unique items in the world, it's me, Cobra Commander. In my reign as Cobra's leader, I have acquired countless items, but those meddling Joes have foiled my attempt at worldwide domination over and over again. But it's the thrill of the hunt that fuels my superb rule of Cobra. Pay attention to my loyal subordinates as they tell you of their latest exploits and acquisitions. It's the thrill of the hunt, Cobra!
That's right. That's right.
Cobra!
Cobra. All right, Elgin, let's kick us off. What have you picked up lately, pal?
Well, this stuff is fresh from the road, I guess. I had the day off today because it's President's Day, and I work now at a place that actually has those days off. So actually, I went out and went over to Corner Collectibles to look through all their toys and stuff. I hadn't been there for a while. Specifically, I was looking for an Eddie Guerrero wrestling figure to go with my lowrider vehicle that I opened a while back. It came with Rey Mysterio, but really it should have been with, it had like an Eddie Guerrero figure because he's the one who mainly drove it. So I found one after going through like 3 totes of loose wrestling figures.
Oh gosh.
Finally found one. Yeah, they're like a mess over there. But I got this 1999 Eddie Guerrero. I need to like touch up his beard a little bit, but
oh yeah.
He's got the short hair, which is what I wanted to, because sometimes he has a long mullet, like in the early days of WCW.
That lip is just, oof.
He's like,
hey yo.
Got Latino on his back, the Latino heat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 99 Jack Pacific, and so yeah, he can doesn't have really good hip articulation, but he can run, I guess. Or you can, throw a chair and then fake like he's got knocked out, which is a trick of his. But yeah, looks great. I just got it so he could drive, and then Rey Mysterio can like be his passenger now. It's passenger princess instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, looks awesome. I saw a gold dust there. I should have picked it up.
Oh, dang it. My collection, my gold dust collection. I need it.
Anyway, so I found him, and then I picked up some more of the Kenner aliens, xenomorphs. Picked up a couple more that I didn't have over there. This one was part of a 2-pack, which I actually have the Predator for this. So now that kind of completes that 2-pack.
Perfect.
But Yeah, this one looks pretty cool as well. It's kind of in this running pose. They don't really have a lot of articulation, these late 90s xenomorphs.
Careful, don't get any acid on you.
But yeah, so he finishes that collection with that. He looks pretty cool. And I found this other one. This is the gorilla xenomorph.
Whoa.
Yeah, he looks pretty awesome.
He looks sad. He's got the blues.
Yeah.
Got the little thing. Yeah. Yeah.
And then he can put his arms up.
Just want a hug.
And he's also got a squishy head. There's like a hole in his mouth that you can fill up with water and shoot it out like it's the acid.
Yeah, I had that with the king xenomorph. Has that same kind of feature as well. But yeah, it's a little squishy head.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah. So just a few more of these to finish the collection of the xenomorphs. I think I still need a queen from this line, and then maybe one other one. So I'm quite a few.
I'm surprised you're that close.
They didn't make a lot of them.
At least it's not modern aliens.
Yeah. Yeah, the NECA ones, they really expanded on this line, but yeah, the original Kenner ones, these came out in like 90.
So cool.
But that line, is that the same line that also had like a set of human characters too? Like
they had the Marines with them as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So you could get like Apone and all the
Are you doing those in your collection? Or?
Not yet. I probably will at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm focusing mainly on the Predator and Xenomorph. Those are my faves from that line. Yeah, that's from 92. Then I saw some starting lineup since I basically I feel like I just went there to like fill hashtags. Wrestling Wednesday, got Xenomorph the Saturday, and I got starting lineup Sunday. I found some more of the Cooperstown collections. This is Jimmy Fox, way back. He's in the Hall of Fame. He played with the Philadelphia Athletics back in the day. And then
3 other people are tuning out. We're
exactly.
Off what?
Oh, sports talk. And then Honus Wagner, also in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, I'll open these up and then post them for the starting lineup Sunday posts that I do. This was the other one. The Jimmy Fox was from 96, and then this Honus Wagner is from 2000. Near the end of the line, I think it ended in 2001.
Not enough kids today called Honus.
Honus, yeah, it's true. It's very true. And so then that's all I got at Corner Collectibles. And then I was like, well, we're doing an episode about Goodwill-hunting. I should probably go to Goodwill and not find anything because that's what always happens to me. But I did find something this time.
Oh,
that's right. I picked up this championship belt. That's
nice.
Right. Awesome.
You're finally the champ. Yeah.
Now I can be the universal champion. This is from 2016.
Fuck yeah,
the red belt,
awesome.
Universal champion belt.
Oh, it looks made for that shoulder.
Yeah,
look at that.
Exactly. So I was stoked. It was like $2.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna maybe use it as a display for my wrestlers behind.
Oh
yeah, behind them. Just it's just blinged out and everything like crazy, but just have wrestlers in front of them.
We
awesome
all
for displays. So
we all know that you're gonna wear it with your tighty whities running around the house, dropping elbows on the dog,
people's elbows and power bombs, yeah, and spine busters, all those moves. But yeah, I was super psyched to get it. And it's official WWE stuff. I think I've seen him at Walmart before. But yeah.
Ted says you should wear it every episode.
I just have to wear it like this.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can either wear it like this, which is what the people like now wrestlers do.
Yeah.
Or you can hold it like this, which is what Ric Flair used to do. He used to hold stuff up like this, and Cody Rhodes does now, but they used to hold them like that. They never put it on their shoulders. They always used to hold it in front of them like this. Not even like attached to them, just like holding it like this, like a baby. But yeah, it's good. Even like on the side plates have stuff on it.
So cool.
But yeah, I was like, I went on down like saying to myself, this is how I like psych myself. I'm like, I'm not gonna find anything. I'm not. and then I find something.
Justin Beam in the chat says, "I challenge you to a match, Elgin." For the
Is
belt.
he cashing in his money in the bank?
He
Suitcase,
must be.
briefcase?
He must be.
You gotta
Awesome.
earn that spot, brother.
Oh, he says,
That's all I got.
ring it. That's it. Okay. Awesome. Well, Insane Mike, I know you've been planning this all day. You've been excited to show off what you've picked up recently.
Okay. All right. Well, I feel like this whole episode is kind of thrill of the hunt, right? I mean,
Yeah, it is, really.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I got some stuff that's not Goodwill related, just some cool stuff I've gotten lately. This is some Christmas presents from somebody.
Oh,
Sitting next to me, but really sweet creature from the Black Lagoon. Creature glows in the dark.
That's
my favorite color.
awesome.
Love Gill Man. But so I got him, and since I am such a Gillman fan, she also got me one of the Funko sodas of the Gill Man.
Now it's broken.
It's gonna spray everywhere now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what he looks like. He's pretty sweet.
Does it taste brackish?
Don't. He'll do it. Don't. Okay.
It's like seaweed.
A bit salty.
Yeah, a little bit. And then so the last thing I'll show is I wanted to show this off because I don't have anywhere else to show it off but a show like this. But was so excited. So McFarlane's been doing those DC Direct figures like forever. I love them. Can't afford any of them. And then but seriously, how many Batman and Supermans do you need, right?
Thousands.
So
Obviously.
So when it comes time for me when I feel the need to buy a superhero figure, it's got to be a deeper dive. It's got to be a little bit more obscure. And they did a figure of one of my favorite DC characters that nobody knows anything about all time, and that's Ambush Bug.
Oh man, I've heard you and Turnip go on about Ambush Bug before. I'm like,
yeah, Ambush Bug, created by Keith Giffen. I'm sorry, Deadpool fans. Ambush Bug did it first.
Oh snap! He's calling it out.
He was meta, when Deadpool was just, wasn't even
dead.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he's this random character. Started off as a Superman villain, like a one-shot Superman villain created by Keith Giffen, who's insane. So he's just always goofy and whatever. He has the power to teleport from place to place. But then he was kind of popular at that time. So they did a mini-series, Ambush Bug mini-series, which was just all meta. Him talking about living in comic books, all this, that, and the other thing. They did many mini-series, and they've kind of worked him into other things throughout the years. So in the original mini-series, issue number 1, he decides that he wants to be a superhero. So he already has he already has a costume, but then he dons himself another costume on top of that, and he finds a stuffed doll in the trash, which is Cheeks the Wonder Toy. So he takes the doll, adopts it as his son, and uses him as his sidekick to fight crime. But Cheeks got trapped in a building, and the building exploded at the end. And so Ambush Bug lost his inanimate object son, which carried on through the rest of the miniseries. Anyway, Ambush Bug rules. Never thought in a million years.
I'm so happy that you got that.
Oh, I know, right? It's one thing that there is an Ambush Bug action figure, which I never thought would happen, but the fact that they included Cheeks the Wonder Toy.
That's cool.
A one-note joke from that miniseries. Amazing.
Justin says Cheeks has been Mike's nickname for years.
Oh yeah.
And when you asked how many Batman you need, Tiffany says questions like "How many do you need?" don't exist for these guys. That's true. That's a fair point.
That's correct.
Dude, for you it'd be like, well, I mean, it kind of already is, right? But it'd be, just imagine every Transformer toy line that comes out. There is just as many versions of Optimus Prime in that toy line as there is any other figure, and then you understand my frustration. Yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty close to that, right? But
or
it's
Bumblebee.
It's like every time he does, McFarlane does like a new set, which is usually like 4 or 5 in a set.
Yeah.
There's always another Batman. It's the same thing in the Superpowers line, and I don't know.
Ambush freaking bug.
Ambush bug.
Are you gonna open it? You gonna leave it in the box?
Staying in the box, man.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of philosophies on this show.
It's a question we have to ask.
We have to ask.
Well, yeah, that's a whole other conversation for me. Yeah.
Was that all, buddy?
That was it for me.
All right, Brandie, you're up next.
I'm gonna switch it up just a little bit. Because hold on, sorry.
You having problems there?
Yeah. Look
I have 5 of
that.
There you go.
That's awesome.
This came from Goodwill yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah,
it was yesterday.
Yeah. In town.
Here in town. It's like brand new.
Dang,
I'm a huge fan of Don Bluth. So, and I had this one when I was a kid.
Oh, even better.
So
that's awesome.
I was really happy to find this.
That's very cool. What a score. And it ties in. How great.
All of hers are going to tie in because that.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's all she ever buys.
That's where she shops.
I go straight for the plush. So I do collect Snoopy. It is my main collection. So I tend to pick up anything and everything Snoopy. I found this MetLife Chicago Cubs giveaway Snoopy at our Goodwill. No, Fairfield. $2. I found 2 of them. Yeah. So he's in my collection. I haven't taken the tag off yet.
Good piece for the collection.
Oh, this one's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. He still has the tag. He came from Goodwill. This is Opus from Bloom County.
From the old Bloom County comic strip.
Yeah. Yep.
Opus the Penguin. A comic strip. A comic strip that hasn't been in print since like what, the 90s, and she finds looking like brand new.
Yes, brand new.
Freaking Opus plush.
Oh, this is from 85.
And it just finds its way to Goodwill in Southeast Iowa. Yeah. What?
That's it.
That's crazy. That's awesome. All right. Well, I'll go next. I've done unboxing, or I've done a Thrill of the Hunt on this separate video, but Tiffany and I went to our friend Bill, the comedian's birthday party the other day. And we went a little early, went into Kansas City and hit up 3 toy stores. The first one we went to was called Back in Time Comics, and terribly priced stuff. Is all like so. It's just outrageous.
It's on the high end, yeah.
The high end of like you're just creating a museum. You're not going to sell any of this shit. Anyway, I finally, but once in a while you're like, oh, something snuck through, and I found something that was been on my wish list for freaking ever. And I never thought I would own this because it's just such a weird, dumb thing, and I know how much it goes for on the internet. But anyway, I found it in person at a really good price. There's just like it's a platinum edition of the Triple Changers, Astro Train, and Blitzwing in these weird ass original like Diaclone color schemes. You can see just like normally they're purple and gray and stuff, but these are just so different, but they're the literal G1 molds. So it's like anytime there's something that you know is one way your whole life and you get to see it in a different color, it's just freaking cool to me. I love it. Oh gosh. Then we went over to, and then there's two toy stores that are literally across the street from each other, which is like brilliant. I think I love it. It's the first one we went to was Castaway Toys, and very clean, very cool dudes. Old dude just was in there, just happy to have all these toys around him, just talking everybody's ears off. He was awesome. I found right off the bat in a case, I found a G1 toy that finishes off the a small little series that I was looking for, and now of course I'm blanking on his name, but it's super cool. These I'd been looking for them online forever, but this chrome always wears off, and under this chrome is just this color of red. So like it's just like red all the way up most of the time. It's always rubbed off, but he had one good stickers in there. Overdrive's his name. Got it.
Maximum Overdrive.
Nope. No. Yep. This one. These were this was the next store. And so as we're leaving, I should have set these out there just in a box. As we were leaving, we went to this store because they had a picture like a month before that was of a G2 Cyberjet that Tiffany's looking for me for, and was like, oh, that's one of them left. Let's go to the store. And then we get there like, yeah, we just sold them all. So that sucked. But as we're going out, I was like, oh gosh, there's another guy, a little laser rod guy. He's they made 4 of these in his G2. And their gimmick is there's a little battery in there and a little sword that goes in their hand, and you push a button and this clear plastic sword and parts of him light up. It's just neat. But they made 4 little hot rods, and this is one of them, and super stoked to have him.
That's cool.
Can't remember his name. Well, anyway, I can't remember exactly. Brothers. Okay, so then across the street is Brothers Records and Toys, and yeah, they have, and half the store's records. So I know Insane Mike would be like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, we need to go home.
Yeah, and then the other side is just vintage toys up the wazoo.
That's their new location, right?
Yes, it's
because they had another store which was smaller, and then they moved to this bigger store.
Yes, I assume it's
yes.
Come on, focus. Yep, Shawnee.
Yeah.
12206 Johnson Drive, Kansas. And so there's just a wall full of bagged loose figures, and I'm digging through, and Tiffany's over digging through, and she's like I hear often, and I love it. It's just a great sentence. She says, "Do you have that Starscream?" And she pulls up one, and I'll be like, I usually say yes, but I didn't this time. And then here's just a little Cyberverse version where these yellow parts become armor, but they also, these 3 pieces, or these little leg pieces, and it all come off and form their own little bulldozer dude that is its own little toy, but it comes apart into pieces and becomes battle armor for this Starscream. You can kind of see his face in there, but
yeah.
Anyway, a version of Starscream I didn't have. It was awesome. Found this other G2 jet. Can't remember his name, but it came with a gun, and that's not normal to find at a really good price. So
true.
That didn't focus either. Great. And then as about done at Brothers Toys, I can try to just narrow it down and pick something. I see this Energon toy, which is a dumb toy, but I know we haven't had official motorcycle episodes yet, but we always we should probably
because I have some motorcycle
high wire and kick shit, I can't remember. But this motorcycle turns into a robot too, and then he's got a little human dude who's one of the main characters on the show, and it's just it's not a common piece, like his kickstand or his Handlebars will be broken off. You don't. I hardly ever find him anywhere anyway. But there he was at Brothers Records and Toys. And then we were all.
I went to the original location years ago. Ended up getting like a vintage land shark there. But yeah, even when it was that smaller store, it had great stuff. So I just haven't got a chance to get back to the bigger store when they moved to this new location. So glad you went.
Yeah. And then we were goofing around at some mall, and then we come into a FYE, and I'm like, what? That's still a
There's
thing?
still some left?
Wow.
Holy crap.
Oh yeah, there's some fancy.
Sort of, but not. On the outside of the mall door windows, there was FYE signage. But once we went in, and again, all the fixtures, the DVD racks and pegboards on the wall, all FYE stuff, because I know we know that because we worked at FYE. But then you look, and even some of the stickers on there, I'll show you in a second. But then after a while, it's like, oh, half of the stuff's labeled vintage stock, which is kind of a little chain of stuff that's down there. And they bought it out, and they hadn't really fully switched over yet, but they had stuff, it seemed like they got excess from other vintage stocks in to help fill it out too. But there's this dumb little toy that I know Mike's a big fan of Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And I've seen this guy 100 times, and I'm like, I know I don't need it or want. It's not necessarily a Transformer guy. So I eventually, after seeing it 100 times at Walmart, every time being like, I don't need it. Just walk away. And then the second it's not there anymore, you're like, I should have bought that. You know how it is. And so I saw this toy on the shelf, and it was for an incredible price, and I just couldn't pass it up. It's Roybot.
Oh yeah.
So you've seen they made these versions into toys. There's 4 of them I know that they had in the store. Come on, folk, there. Some of them that they had in stores of a physical 3D figure. But yeah, you can see that feels a little FYE.
Yeah.
But then but for $5, half price of its retail, which you just don't. Sure. Anyway. And so it's a blue and red robot kind of dude. Not a Transformer, but it's a robot. So gotta love robots.
But like when they released that card originally, that was their parody homage to Transformers.
Yeah, I know. And they can only dance so close to the licenses before they get in trouble. I'm sure they've gotten in trouble before.
Yeah.
All right. And then I guess I'll segue with this. Today also, Elgin, Tiffany had the great idea. We both had it off. So we're like, let's go to some Goodwill. So we go over to Fairfield, and it was, I think, the first time I've been in that one. We walk in, Tiffany's instantly knows everybody in there, is talking to everybody. It's great. And we look at all the toys, and I'm like, this store is awesome, because I know what mine in Ottumwa was like. Yep. And this is so just off the bat, Goodwill, no 2 Goodwills are created equal, right? No, you'll verify that in a second. It's great. They definitely do lots of things in a bag for a price there, which was cool. And I looked through every gosh dang bag, and I'm like, does the one thing I want out of this bag worth all this? Yeah. And what am I going to do with all this? You guys will talk about that. We struck out. We didn't get anything there. But so then we came to Ottumwa, and I found something right away on the shelf. So I got this today. Wrong one. We got little medics, the doc bot. It's a little rescue ranger or rescue bots guy. Just a simple, push button, boop, transforms. I always wanted to watch this show because I hear it's actually good for being the kiddiest of kid shows, but
sometimes rescue bots, the best.
Yeah, I agree. And so what was it? $3. Found this little guy, and then it reminded me the only other thing I've ever found that's a toy at Goodwill was another version of the same guy, Medics, and he's just again another little one-steppy little flip up dude. I broke him. Anyway, no, but it's just funny that it's the same one. But anyway, yeah, no two Goodwills are the same. That's for sure, right, gang?
Well, the difference between the one here and the one in Fairfield is that they're, what are they like?
There's two different districts.
Yeah.
I don't know if the whole state is split down the middle.
Insider knowledge, so I'm so excited for it.
Yeah,
but I feel like our store's the cutoff for the west side of the state. So if you go to Goodwills in, say, like Des Moines and stuff, they are similar to ours, where they're a bit dirtier. It looks like whatever abandoned building they decided to take over, they just threw a register in there and some racks, and that's all they did. But then if you go to the east side of the state with like Fairfield and your favorite,
Washington,
the one in Washington,
it's called Goodwill of the Heartland, and they actually have like rewards cards.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So are
you should
independent? Are they independently owned then, or they really are part of a chain? Are they?
That part I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
You get to,
but because it's like other retailers. It's like apparently these stores are split up into districts.
Mm-hmm.
But the east side
feels
like a completely different company than the east side of the state. And that's what's so weird about it. And like I actually knew somebody who ran the district for the east side, like the Des Moines area all the way down to ours. And ours don't have like
the bags of toys hanging up or
well, they don't even have the same like price labels, because the Fairfield one has like these type of price labels right here. Where really, if you can, my camera will focus. But like really nice labels that they obviously have a printing machine that prints the labels. Where our Goodwill has like just the old price gun per chunker.
If that. Because when I picked up that belt today, there was no price on it. No price. I'm like, I wonder what it's going to be when I get to the register.
They have these tabs on the shelves that tells you like the hard toys or the plush or the hard backpack books.
So they can do less work.
Yeah.
So so they can, if there's something they want to jack up the price on,
that's true.
That's when they'll get out the junker gun.
Yeah, because and plus sometimes they don't even do that.
No, but then you go to Washington and it's stylistically the same as Fairfield's. It has these same type of price labels. This setup is similar as far as like bags of toys
but their inventory is better.
Oh well, you think
I do.
So it's like a person can franchise a Goodwill, and maybe the guidelines are just loose for districts. I don't know. Anybody in the chat have any good explanation of what's going on with Goodwills?
That would be good to know, but I also have a theory too that maybe like managers might have a bit more sway in their stores.
I think so, especially the one here.
I
wasn't going to throw anybody under the bus, but
I will. The prices at this one have just gotten
they're high,
outrageous.
Right? You're just another resale store with a name that people know,
without any attempt to like be a resale store. Like a real decent resale store would clean your product, would clean the product up and properly price it and properly organize it. You go, okay, if we're just going to throw our Goodwill under the bus, screw it. But you could go into Goodwill and it just amazes me. We'll walk past like an end cap where they have like half empty bottles of shampoo for sale. That is more. That has a price tag on it that's more than what that shampoo bottle costs full at Dollar Tree.
Oh my gosh, that's gross.
Bad. I mean, it's so bad that there's been like people posting on Facebook of like the prices of some of the stuff at our Goodwill, like that whole that wall art, what I call wall art gate.
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh man.
Where, because what was the price? They were like wanting to charge like $60 or
One
something.
of them was 75.
$75 for some secondhand piece of wall art.
Gosh,
Yeah.
terrible.
Is that the worst thing you've seen that you can remember?
Price wise?
Yeah.
That's every time.
Or
I
like
try.
I mean, there's.
half bottle of shampoo.
I'm not even kidding about the shampoo or bottle.
No.
Obviously used bottle of lotion. There's like we've been in there and it's just like they do not throw anything away, do they? When they get
No.
donations,
No,
it's everything's
don't
just thrown
clean
on a
anything.
goddamn shelf.
Like breast pumps that have not been cleaned, they'll just throw them on the shelf, and then he'll pick them up.
Yeah.
And I'll be like,
No.
Oh God. No, yeah. Tiff saw a broken ass chair today, in ours. That it's obviously 10 years old. It's totally broken out the seat. I know every time I walk down the electronics aisle, I'm like, how could any of this sell? Who's gonna buy
Right.
any of the electronics?
I don't
are
know.
Clearly
Yeah.
not tested.
I
Aren't
found
wiped
a vintage Sony Watchman, like
Oh,
the little
yeah.
TV. It was pink at our Goodwill.
And
I
it
only paid
worked.
like what, $4 for?
yeah. So not to sound totally discouraging, especially again, it's just the thing is, it's like if you want to find cool stuff and you want to, you have to look, even if it means
Yeah.
going through Goodwills that are unkept or what have you.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you amongst all those overpriced, half-broken electronics, you're going to find that one piece of nugget in there.
Yeah, I don't
Those
normally
nuggets.
go into Goodwill that often, just because I don't have time a lot of times to go in there. But I brought out some stuff that I have found there that was like that I've kept in my collection stuff. I went in there one random, just like on a random like night, like a Wednesday night or Thursday night or something, and found this Imperial Toys
Oh, hell
figure
yeah.
from '85.
Awesome.
And it's got the Imperial Toys stamp on it as well.
Oh,
I have a bunch of
score.
these dinosaurs. But yeah, I as soon as I walked up to the toys and I saw it, I'm like, I know exactly what that is. Like I just from the look of it and how like they're so in my eyes, like I can just spot them. Like that's
Yeah.
I'm like, yep,
Yeah.
85 Imperial Toys from Hong Kong.
So,
Yeah, they're yep.
I laugh because a couple weeks ago she got all excited about this toy Brontosaurus. Is it also an ideal? Do you know? Is it
No,
from
it
that same
came from
toy
like a
line?
museum or something.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
And she bought it. She's just like, oh, this is gonna look so cool in my movie room. And so
It's like this, like it's big.
it's big.
Right.
And I give her crap about it all the time. And now that we go and I find other dinosaurs, I'm like, oh, you need this for your dinosaur collection.
I love
Because she
dinosaurs.
just has the one dinosaur, but now I'm forcing
needs a
her to have a
friend.
collection. Yeah.
It needs a friend. They need friends.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
I went in. I went another day and found a bunch of these 1999 Toy Biz WCW wrestlers. Like I found
Oh
like
yeah.
4 of them. So I found this Diamond Dallas Page. These are the Smash and Slam wrestlers. They have a little action feature. He does
Oh,
this
that's
little
cool.
Over
diamond
here, guys.
cutter pose. He's got his jacket and everything. But yeah, Diamond Dallas Page. Found him there. I found all at once, so I just grabbed them all and ran to the checkout. Got a Sting, the red faced NWO Sting with a bat. He even came with his bat as well. And his he does his little pops out and then like his stinger splash. We got that red face Sting.
Awesome.
And then Kevin Nash. He's got he can do a power bomb lift, throw him. Yeah. With his little
Wait, you made
frills
that
on his
sound, right? That's
pants
not
as
part of
well.
the. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, he's
That's a great score. Yeah.
cool there. And then this last one was a Hollywood Hogan. He can punch you. It also has this lock on the back, which if you lock in this arm and you turn that, like it's supposed to lock in a headlock, and then if I can get it right, there we go. So it locks here, so it locks that in, and then you can just punch a guy.
Well, in a
unlock
headlock,
his arm unlocks with that button, which is dumb, but yeah, I found all 4 of these. Just went in there one day, saw them all there. I'm like, well, I gotta grab these because they're like vintage
Awesome.
wrestlers with action
Were they
features.
in a bag or just on the shelf?
No, they were all loose.
Oh.
They were all just like
on the shelf,
laying on a shelf.
dirty
I
shelf.
was like, yes, just all in like they were like laying like this.
Justin's got a great story. He says, my folks once bought a VCR at Goodwill, and I set it up for them. And while I was getting it plugged in, I found there was a tape still in it.
Ooh, bonus.
One of the most hilarious days ever. Once I hit play and acted like I couldn't turn it off. Too good.
Oh, God, what was on the tape?
I don't want to know. So,
porn? Is that
what are some of your guys' biggest scores? I want to hear what's some of the best things you found there that just can't believe it.
Well, I don't think you brought it up yet, but we obviously go to Goodwills a lot looking for stuff for ourselves, but we're also very conscious of like looking for vintage toys or what have you that we could also turn around and flip. And I have to say, one of my crowning achievements in the flipping side of it is one of those random bag of toys that's just it looks like it's like 50% McDonald's toys, whatever, but I'm inspecting it and I could see like shoved in the middle of it, which looked like a little R2. And I'm like, well, the price is right. There's a couple other little things in here. And there's that R2. Maybe I can get $1 or so out of it. This bag, if anything that I didn't want to keep, I could easily make my money back on. So I'll just get it. We'll see what this R2 is. And it was a vintage original 80s R2 that the bag was like $5, I think, for the whole bag, something like that. And I turned around and flipped that sucker for $80 just for the R2 unit.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it an Ewok?
I thought it was an Ewok too.
Oh, that's right.
I'm
I'm so sorry. It was an Ewok. It was an Ewok, not an R2. Same size.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, they're essentially the same.
Yeah,
thing.
they're just furry droids.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What about you, Brandie? Since you are the queen of finding all the gold.
It wasn't a toy. It was
cool.
Print, an artist print that was double signed. It was for a charity for like some kind of an animal thing. I ended up selling it for $300.
Wow.
Nice.
And suddenly there's reason to go to Goodwill. All right. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the percentage you think, though, of things you find? Do you flip? Do you really? How many eggs do you got to crack? How much spaghetti you got to throw against the wall
Before
you find some of the good stuff?
I say that any trip you take to Goodwill, you could probably find something to flip.
Yeah.
If you know what you're looking
that's
for.
That's the thing, it's being aware. And we were just talking about this yesterday. When it comes to her abilities, it's like it amazes me. I feel like I am pretty knowledgeable on like 70s and 80s nostalgia, like toys or just products from that era in general. But she's got like a sixth sense for it that she could be on the other side of the freaking store. She will see the one ear popping out of the plushie bin.
Yeah.
And she'll like push me out of the way first of all and make a beeline to that bin. It's like, oh, it's a popple. I'm like, what the frick is a popple? It's like, oh, this I can get probably about $50 for this. I'm like, nah. I was like, and she's like, no, this is vintage, without even looking at tags or anything. She just knows. So, we have our phones with us. We're always looking stuff up too. And sure enough, yeah, it was like on an average going for like $50, and it was a vintage one. She knew that from across the room. But she's done that with not just toys. You've like, I'm trying to think of other random like little trinkets, like little trinkets and you're like, oh, this is from like 1982, blah blah blah. And sure enough, we look at the freaking copyright on the bottom. It's like 1982. It's like something's like, how would you even know that? This is nothing that would come anywhere close to being of interest of you. So
I use it to justifying all the hours on eBay looking up prices. It's like, because I'm gonna need this knowledge someday, right?
Mine's
that's with it with her, yeah.
He makes fun of me because I watch YouTube all the time, and it's always people picking stuff, and I've done it for years.
I love the toy hunt videos, and
kind of sticks with me.
So yeah, she's learned a lot of what to look for from those videos.
But it's not.
But not just that.
Not just toys.
You just because it's like
pretty much everything.
Because you're just like, oh, my grandmother had this up on a shelf in the back of a closet somewhere, and I remember it, and I can get $80 for it.
Love it.
But I don't know. I mean, I brought some stuff to show of like stuff that I've kept in my collection that I think are super cool.
Show it off real quick.
All right. Well, real quick. Okay.
I mean, do your thing.
One of my highlights ever, had it for quite a while now. We were at the Fairfield Goodwill, and Brandie sees it first, but I ended up getting it. It is a Vincent Price mini bust.
Oh, hell yeah!
That was put out by Rue Morgue magazine as part of their subscription at Goodwill in Fairfield, Iowa. That's thing was just sitting on top of the shelf. But the coolest part of it was, and I knew exactly what it was, not because I'm as smart as she is, but it's because it was in the freaking box, in the original box. Like, even has the original like foam it came in, styrofoam it came in.
Wow.
Like, that's to me some of the coolest stuff is when you can find it like as if you're just buying it brand new off the shelf. But and that's not anything you could get retail. That was like a giveaway with a subscription or something years and years back. I'm a big Rick and Morty fan, but I came into Rick and Morty like way late in the game, like way late in the game, and like nobody cares about it anymore, and they don't make any merchandise for it anymore. It seems like. So everything I have in a Rick and Morty collection now is everything from Goodwill, but this is probably my favorite. Is my stuffed Squanchy.
What?
He likes to squanch.
Oh, whatever that means.
Don't ask.
Okay.
And then, and again, finding stuff that's like practically brand new off of a retail shelf and finding it used at Goodwill. This is pretty cool. It is a Batman figure, like this, like remote controlled night flight Batman. So he's got like a copter on him. This is from the Batman Brave and the Bold cartoon series. You can see from that the art style there, which I loved that cartoon. I never thought to buy any of that stuff back in the day, and now I kind of want anything I can find from that toy line. So that was pretty cool, and that was $5. It's brand new in the box, never opened.
Awesome.
Crazy.
Couple more quick things, and then I'll stop. Big comic book guy, big comic book nerd.
What?
And over the past several years, I've been very disgruntled with modern day comics from the big two, like DC and Marvel. This is like they don't write for me anymore. I just can't get into any of this. So other than trying to find older stuff from DC or Marvel that I like, I've definitely gotten into a lot more independent comics, and I've always been a fan, but I never really collected a lot of it. A lot of times because you can't really find much of it. But there's the artist author Dan Klaus that I'm a fan of, and for those who aren't familiar with comics, if anybody's seen the independent film from back in the day, Ghost World, that's based off of one of his comics. And you may have seen his art style on other things from back in the day too. So, and I've been in comic book stores and cannot find Dan Klaus stuff. But at Goodwill in Ottumwa, Iowa, I have found a Ghost World
What?
graphic novel. And this is really cool. Hardbound book that he wrote called Wilson by Dan Klaus.
Dang.
It's huge, and it's like a couple. But what's great about this stuff, and I think that should also be something to be said, is that one of the cool things about like a Goodwill is these are people who are putting the stuff on the shelf that are there for a paycheck. It's not like going to, your mom and pop toy stores that you guys are talking about, or even like a thrift store where those owners think they know what they have.
Yeah.
Goodwill people don't care what they have.
Well,
So
some of them do.
Well, some of
because
them
they have
do,
those
but
online auctions where they pick and choose like
Oh,
the most.
jeez.
Yeah, they do.
yeah. But in comparison, though,
Oh, yeah.
in comparison,
Percent-wise,
Right.
yeah.
smaller.
And so finding stuff like this,
Oh,
you would expect to be at bare minimum in the adult book section, but no, these were in the kid book sections, which kids books are like $1.99 or something, right?
Oh,
Not
I
even
think they're
that?
50 cents.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, less than $1. So
Jeez.
this book right here, retail $21.95, I got for less than $1 because they didn't know what they had. They didn't know that this is not necessarily a kid's book, but it's cartoony looking,
Sure.
and so it just goes in the kids book section.
that's a good point, though. Yeah, they don't even care. They're just get it on the shelf.
Yeah.
There's no real rules.
And then the last thing I'll show off, because I also do a lot of records. Records is probably one of the worst things to shop for at Goodwill if you're a record collector, because
Right.
Because all it is Whipped Cream Delights by
Herb Albert.
friggin' Herb Albert.
And T-Bone Brass.
God.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
freaking time. I'm ready to leave as soon as I'm flipping through the records that I come across with.
You just start buying every one of them, man.
I thought about it.
Buy them and
Like
give them
that-
to Andy.
Like
I
that
keep
guy who
trying
did
to-
who bought all the Titanic
Yep.
Titanic copies. I want to do that with Whipped Cream Delight and then set it on fire.
Yeah.
What?
As soon as you see one of those, you'll stop looking at the
I'm
record,
done here.
and then you're ready to go.
I'm ready to go home. He's the bane of my existence.
Oh,
Herb
boy.
Albert. Anyway, but sometimes I'll find some nuggets.
Sure.
It always suckers me in too. If like something really cool is towards the front, and
All right.
I'm
I'll
like,
do
God
the work.
dang it! Now I got to go through all of them. I was ready to quit after the first two, when it was like Herb Albert. And anyway, but so I kind of wasn't really intending to start collecting these, but I remember them and loving them so much when I was a kid. If you guys remember Power Records.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I started finding some of these Power Records. So of course, now I have a collection, but I've got the $6 Million Man. This one's my personal favorite that I have so far. Planet of the Apes.
Nice. So
Super cool. And then this one just makes me laugh. It's Kojak.
Oh, jeez. Let's throw that
Loves
one
you,
away.
baby.
It's your favorite, Jason.
Ugh. Yeah, if you need a movie ruined, sure, yeah. Anyway,
That's all the random stuff I wanted to show off.
Do the one.
Do what one?
The one that you just got the other
you
day.
just got.
This is all. This one? Oh, this record? Okay. Well, I just was mostly showing. Okay, this one I put in my pile
This
to
is why
show
I
off.
wanted these two on the show, is for that right there.
Remind him what he forgot to do.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't really going to show it off, but I put it in the pile anyway, just because I'm so excited and proud of this one. This record we just found.
last week.
Yeah, last week. It's called Dracula's Greatest Hits.
Well,
It's
yeah,
like
he's a well-known pop star back in the day.
It's a novelty record from 1964. 1964. And what's also cool about it, other than, I love novelty records, and I love all things horror, but also I love the artist who did the cover, like the cover here, and then the back art is by like Man Magazine artist.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah, Jack Davis. So
cool.
If anything, I have it for the cover, but
right.
Also, I haven't listened to it yet. I'm like just waiting for the right moment. Light some candles, set the mood. Listen to Dracula's Greatest Hits.
Cool. I had a couple things here. I love having Insane Mike as my bestie because every time he comes over, he brings me things. He brought me this Transformer. There's a stack of them. Every time he seems to bring a gift. I think this one's from Brandie.
Yep.
Crazy. What? A Optimus Prime snow. What the? How do you? Nobody knew this existed till it showed up at my. It's the dumbest. It's awesome. I love it.
Well, you talked about it on the show before. I think you talked about it on this show, or maybe you just had the conversation with me. That one of them I brought to you was a
knockoff.
A knockoff, which I had no idea.
Yep.
But it's like, but didn't you say like some of those knockoffs also are kind of sought after or whatever?
Yep, for sure. Nowadays, not back in the day. It was just like, oh, that's cheap plastic, gross. But yeah, no, they a lot more companies are getting a hold of these molds and making their own toys that are very similar. You can replicate these toys. I mean, they're just little things, and you put them together. And bootlegs are definitely a lot more popular than they ever used to be. And yeah, that one you found, not a real toy. It didn't exist.
Yeah, it's weird. I had no idea, but that's really cool.
Yep.
Find something like that.
Elgin, you find something else?
Yeah, I remembered that I had it up on my shelf, way up in the corner. I was like, oh yeah, I got that at Goodwill too. I think I picked it up in Coralville, at the one up there by the north of the mall there. But it's this monogram model kit from the 70s. It's from 76.
Oh, cool.
Monogram, they made some Masters of the Universe kits as well, like the Roton and something else. But you could like build a kit and stuff. But I picked it up because it was like G.I. Joe size. But it had all the instructions and all the pieces. It was sealed. And
oh hell,
it was sealed. Oh wow.
Yeah, it was like taped up, and like it had everything in it. Like even like I can open it up again. I cut it open to look at it, but it had like old tips on building dioramas.
From
Monogram.
That's
like
cool.
Construction stuff, notes.
Just that old art is worth picking that thing.
Yeah. And then here's the instructions.
Neat.
For it.
That's neat.
And then they had even more M8 armored car instructions, additional pieces.
And the final put together model kit looks like.
I haven't put it together
yet,
but because there's a lot of pieces. There's like even some stickers.
Oh wow!
Still on there from 76.
Wow. Did they even have adhesive on the back anymore? Yeah. That's cool. They're still all attached.
They're literally all attached to the pieces. Like it's like the guys that they came with are still on there too. The little army guys. But yeah,
that's so cool.
It's like everything was in it. That's why I'm like, I don't know if I want to put together because everything's like here.
Yeah.
And the box looks awesome and it fits perfectly in the spot where I have it and everything. But yeah, it was from, I think it was.
Brandie's like, it goes for this much in these markets.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what did you?
I bought it for $8.99 because it was.
Were those water decals? Not
probably.
stickers?
I think they probably
were. Okay. Yeah.
So there's the Goodwill sticker there.
That's Fairfield.
No, it was Coralville one.
Oh.
Well, see, that one's part of the Goodwill Harlan.
Yeah.
So if you get a rewards card.
Yeah, that one up there is great. If you haven't gone up there, check it out.
We need to go.
Cement and paint not included. But yeah.
Thanks, Elgin. Now I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Oh boy.
It's a cool story. It's huge too. Like it's
in Washington.
Speaking of those big stores, when I went to Jay's at East 14th the other day, and you go up the road a little more, I'm like, oh, there's a Goodwill over there on my way to Target. And I go in, and I'm like, this isn't a Goodwill store that I've ever seen before. All it is giant bins.
Yes.
What's
the
that about?
bins.
The bins.
The bin store. What's that
hand
about?
Hand over to you.
I love the bins.
Why? It's madness. Pure madness.
I have something from the bins. So this is
a
Wiley. Coyote from 1971.
That's cool.
And it came from the bins.
I know I walked in and I'm like, am I even supposed to be here? Because I mean, like,
no,
there
you're
were
not.
so many workers there, and like people were rummaging through bins, but I'm like, no one said hi. It doesn't feel like anything retail at all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got nervous and I dug a little bit, and I'm like, I'm never gonna fucking find shit, and all my shit's gonna be in the bottom of the thing. And I just got nervous. I'm like, I might work here now if I keep going. I gotta leave. So
it can be scary if you're not ready for it.
Yeah. So you pay by the pound.
Oh, many.
Yeah. So define what the bins are for the noobs.
You seriously pay by the pound.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you don't pay by like individual items.
That's cool.
Yep. You get your shopping cart. You could fill it however much you want in it. Roll it up on this giant weight thing, and they charge by the pound.
Yeah. Wow. Glad I'm not a sandbag collector. That's good.
I know, right? It's like, oh man, my brick collection. Damn it.
That's where we go every year on my birthday.
Oh, it's adorable. And it's because it's true. It is true.
No trips to Disneyland. No, we want to go to the bins.
The bins. Well, any final stories or things you want to share before we go today?
I do want to share one of my thoughts about the bins.
Yeah, please.
So last time we went, so about how often do they bring out a new bin? About every hour or so? I don't know.
More or less.
When you go, this is how intense it is. They'll bring out a new bin, but about every 10 to 15 minutes before they bring out this new bin, they make announcements over the loudspeakers like, everybody clear the aisle. You need to clear the aisle so we can bring out the new bins. And then there's like this list of rules. Don't grab from people's carts. Don't do this. Don't do this. Yeah, all these rules that you have to follow when bringing out the new bins.
And then it's Black Friday.
It's freaking nuts. It's hilarious to me because it's like, I don't do it. Yeah. Generally, she doesn't either. But this last time, she's like, I'm going for it. And so she dived in, but I had my back turned this whole time and another bin, like a few aisles up. And I just stood there and listened. I didn't look. I just listened. And it's just like silence. And then, I mean, it's like when you go to the zoo and they have that pond with the Japanese fish and you throw pellets in there. That's exactly what it looks like and what it sounds like.
Or like a Bollinger Thanksgiving when mom's like, it's dinner time. Whoa. Well, then how do you know those are they called something different? Did I just miss the title?
It's the Goodwill outlet.
So there was a word outlet up there, because again, I walk in, I'm like, whoa, well, what the?
I think they took that part off the sign on the front of the building, didn't they?
Yeah, probably rotted off or something. Who knows?
I'm like, how am I supposed to know? What the heck? That's awesome.
There's also
you can find some good stuff.
You can. Probably. You have to have patience and a high tolerance level for nasty
confrontation.
Humans, but and probably bring gloves. But you can. That's also kind of the sad part with that stuff. It's like people just rummage through that stuff and just throw it. And be careful, man, because there's a lot of times there's like a lot of broken glass and ceramic in those bins.
How about that guy with the shaver?
Dude, we were there one time. I know you're wanting to wrap up, but dude, we were there one time, and I look up and across the way, there's a guy. He's going through the bins, pulls out a little razor, electric shaver, and starts just shaving over top of the bin.
Wow.
And then put it back.
And put it back?
Oh, wait, he got it out of the bin. That's right.
He
Yeah,
got
he got it out of the bin.
And then put it back.
Like
Yeah,
I
so-
said,
so
pure
bring gloves.
madness.
I think I'll skip that. I think I'll skip that store.
Wow. Oh, it's an experience, I guess, every single time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so look out for the bins. You'll know once you get inside the door. You're in for it.
It's definitely the most unique shopping experience you'll ever have in your life.
What do you got tomorrow?
Oh, no.
Oh, all right. Well, let's take a quick break. We're going to tell you about our podcast network, the PFPN, the Prescribed Films Podcast Network. A ton of amazing shows over there for you to check out. And this lady's going to tell you all about it.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
All right, we are back, and now it's time for Elgin to take us on a store tour.
All right, today's store is called Collector's Marketplace. It's at 4031 North 24th Street A in Phoenix, Arizona. That's about 22 hours and 7 minutes from Ottumwa if you drive straight there. And this 8,000 square foot pop culture collector's superstore has a large selection of vintage and modern toys, anime, video games, Funko Pop, Lego, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and much, much more. It is also the home of the Phoenix Comic and Toy Show that they have every Saturday in the cooler months. And currently, the temperature in Phoenix is 75 degrees, while here in Iowa, it's the frozen tundra.
The worst, yeah.
Yes. But did you know that the Make-A-Wish Foundation was created in Phoenix in 1980? The boy that had child leukemia wanted to be a police officer, and the local police department granted him his wish. And because of that, he captured the hearts of everyone in that town. And they started the foundation there in Phoenix. But you can also go to the Collector's Marketplace at 4031 North 24th Street A in Phoenix, Arizona.
Thank you, Elgin. All right, before we go today, we just want to remind everyone, if you want to help support the podcast, you can do that. So easy. For step one, just tell a friend. That's all you got to do. You'd be like, hey, I saw this show on the YouTubes.
Step one, get a friend.
That's the real, yeah.
And then we love it when you give a 5-star, that's right, 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. We'll read them on the show when you do, and that's a cool way to get kind of a shout out. But the best way is to enlist in the Corps. Go to enlistinthecorps.com, and it's the best way to help. There's different tiers over there, and pick one that best suits you. You can get bonus episodes and shout outs and early access and be in an exclusive chat and all that super fun stuff. And if you're more of a YouTube person, you can click that join button down below and you get the same perks, maybe a few other perks like your name's in a different color, you get badges next to your name, exclusive emojis in the chat, lots of fun stuff. And like I said, one of the perks is a shout out, and I'm going to shout out our core members right now. We got Tony Miller, Chris Turnip Simmons, Alex LaForest, Bill Fisher, Colin Bunn, and the amazing Tiffany DeWeese. That's right. Yes. So you too can be a core member. Enlist in the Corps.com. Well, all right. Before we get out of here, just want to thank you guys so much for joining us and teaching us the ways. Do you have like a bit of advice you want to leave us with before we go?
What do you think?
Goodwill hunting.
Best days to go.
Every day.
If it's up to her, yeah.
I was
Yeah.
afraid
Well,
she
that's
was going to say it.
You just don't know.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. I think it does maybe take a few extra trips to figure out what is the best day for your particular Goodwill.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like we've been buying up a lot more physical media lately, and like our Goodwill does dollar days on Sundays. But like Fairfield will also do like dollar days on DVDs, but not on the same day. So yeah, you just kind of go.
There's a
and
little
kinda start
method to the
learn.
madnesses.
Yeah,
You got to figure it out.
most Goodwills will have some kind of special going on a particular day.
Typically, there's more stuff on like a Monday or Tuesday, because people like during the summer months will have their garage sales and stuff that doesn't sell. They'll just donate it.
Sure.
Cool. And then don't be afraid to look through everything because people are going to put shit where it doesn't go, and you'll find your gems that way because no one else is looking there for the thing. That's cool. Well, awesome. Thanks, guys. Shout outs. Where can people find you? Are you doing things you want to be found? I don't care. Doesn't matter. Just a thing we say at the end of podcasts. I know Mike does.
All kinds of places. So yes, Attack of the Killer podcast. You can find us everywhere where podcasts are sold. And also my film production company, Prescribed Films. Check out prescribedfilms.com. You can see Attack of the Killer podcasts and Prescribed Films on YouTube. We both those have YouTube channels. So everywhere. I'm everywhere.
That's the way he wanted it.
That's right.
All right. Well,
I've started to post more stuff on my Instagram.
yay.
It's Schroeder Dare. That's it.
All right. I love it. Elgin, what about you? Let's go around. Elgin's like, I don't know.
I've got stuff on Cracktastic Plastic. Check it out on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, X, and YouTube posts because that's a thing, and TikTok because TikTok's fun.
TikTok is fun.
Well, yeah, for you short attention span folks, it's definitely made for you.
Well, it's made for people who like to make content but don't have a whole lot of time.
That's
That too.
perfect for you. All right.
Sometimes
Well,
15 seconds is too long.
right.
Sometimes, especially when you go back and edit it, and then you're like, "Why am I spending so much time editing this little fart video?" I don't.
Yeah, I just edited a bunch of video clips together to make a 20-second video.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Oh, we just got a call out. We need a blue sky for the podcast. All right. I'd love to get away from Twitter myself. That's my personal thoughts.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. We really appreciate it. It's nice finally getting some experts on this show instead of just our random willy-nilliness.
Well, much like you say at the beginning of the show, is like I don't even say we're experts, but we just do it way too much. So.
Way too. Yes, that's the key.
But also, thanks for having us, though.
Yeah,
Oh
thank
yeah.
you.
Love the show. Love you guys so much. So just a
Oh,
chance to
yeah.
be on the show and then just get to hang out with you is always awesome.
Always.
Exactly.
All right. Until next time, keep being awesome, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. But not so fast, my foul fiends. Don't forget to follow these fools on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And visit cracktasticplastic.com. I'll be back.